Happy New Year, witches! So, if you are looking for a magical practice to help you ring in the new year, then you are in luck. So, tonight we have a very special episode of Ask Aislin so that you can release something that you'd like to leave behind you in 2024 and also set an intention for something you'd like to draw in for the coming year. We will also use this time to do some purification and cleansing practices that will help you purify and cleanse your energetic system so you can move into 2025 feeling unburdened from any of the blockages that might have held you back. So, merry meet and welcome to this episode of Ask Aislin. So, rather than do a regular episode like I usually do week to week, I thought it would be fun for us to do a little ritual together to help you ring in the new year. So you don't need very much for this ritual. It is very simple. You will need to gather a piece of paper, and I would suggest a small piece of paper like this. We're going to be writing something on it that we're gonna let go of and leave behind in 2024. Now you're also going to want something to write with. Now I would suggest grabbing something that is not permanent ink, like a Marquee or a Sharpie, Sharpie or a felt tip marker or something like that. Because what we're doing with this is we're going to be placing this in water. And if your ink is too permanent, it will be hard for the ink to dissolve. So if you choose instead a ballpoint pen that has a kind of a lighter ink on it, or even a pencil or colored pencil, it'll probably dissolve a little bit better. But no matter what kind of pen you have, even if the ink doesn't dissolve, the spell will still work. So grab something to write with, a piece of paper. You're going to need a bowl of water as well. And then outside of that, you just need a comfortable place to be where you won't be disturbed. And if there's anything that you'd like to add, like bringing in some candles or incense that helps you get into the ritual mindset, you can also add that in as well. Okay, so we are going to get started, and I am going to tell you a little bit about kind of what to expect from the ritual. Tonight's ritual is a ritual that I did 3 years ago when I first started our Body Mind Witchcraft group. And back at that time, we only had about 20 members in the group. Most of them were my friends, or they were women I had initiated into my in-person coven. And so it's a great ritual, but there were very few people who got to experience and enjoy the ritual. So I decided to do it again this year. Now we've grown our Facebook group to almost 4,000 people. The YouTube channel has about 1,000 subscribers. And so now this is a great ritual that we can reach more people with. So I hope you enjoy this ritual tonight. During it, we are going to use the space, some of these techniques to help us cleanse and purify our bodies, which is always a good thing to do whenever we're ending one cycle and beginning another, like we are doing here at the new year. I also believe that these practices that we're going to do will help your energetic body create more space within it in order to attract new things, the good things that you want to come in for you during 2025. So we are going to start by talking just a little bit about the energy of tonight. So if you're doing the ritual with me tonight here on New Year's Eve, this is the end of one cycle, it's the beginning of the next. We also had a new moon yesterday on Monday the 30th, so we're also kind of experiencing that energy as well. But there actually are 3 different New Years that a witch could celebrate. The first one is the present one we're in. It's based on the human-made construct of time. One year ends, 2024 ends, and 2025 begins. But the astrological New Year actually begins and ends at spring equinox. So that is also a time when a person could do a practice like this one. And then there are some witches who celebrate Samhain as the Celtic New Year. And for them, it might make sense to do a practice like this at Samhain. But the reality is that you can do a practice like this anytime, and a ritual like this at any time that you want to let go of something and you want to draw something new in. Okay? So we are going to go ahead and use this time to clear out, the energies that you would kind of like to let go of. And what we also know is anytime that we let go of something, we do open up space for drawing in something new. Now, whether we consciously draw that thing in or not, something new will come in to fill that space. So I feel like if you would like to control what you're drawing in, that is a good now is a good time to set an intention. What is the theme for 2025? What is the energy that you want to draw in? Now, sometimes we release energy, we open up that space, and then we just really want to be open to the universe, and we want the universe to just fill that space with something else. But here, because of the tradition of setting intentions or maybe even resolutions at New Year's, it is a good time for you to set your intention. What is 2025 going to be about for you? Because now you have the practice here available in front of you to let go of what you need to in order to bring that new thing in. So this particular ritual may be a little different than some rituals you have attended before. If you're a member of our Shadow Seekers membership or you've been to some of my Sabbath rituals, you'll probably recognize some of the practices. We're not actually going to do a formal circle casting. We're not going to call the quarters in the usual way, but we will be moving through the structure of the ritual, so you'll recognize some of these parts. I also another goal of this ritual is one to teach you kind of different ways that you can do a ritual, and then number two, also anything that we do during this ritual, it can all be done together as part of the big full ritual. But you can also take the practices and you can bring them into your daily practice. Maybe you'll end up liking some of the breath work or some of the Kundalini energy work that we do, or the mudras or the mantras, and you can bring that into your daily spiritual practice as well. Okay, so we are going to start for just a moment. We're going to set an intention here at the beginning of the ritual and settle into ritual space. So start by placing one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. And just take a nice inhale here. And exhale it out and just let something kind of roll off your shoulders. Maybe there's some tension you've been carrying, and just let that roll off your shoulders. And then setting an intention here that your highest self or your higher self, or maybe even calling in your guides here to help you see the greatest good in whatever comes of the ritual tonight. And for everyone, that will be different. It may be a comment that someone makes in the chat that seems like it's exactly what you need to hear. It could be one of the practices. It could be the releasing ritual itself. Just take a moment to set that intention, just to allow your higher self to see the greatest good in what comes of tonight. Take another deep inhale here. And sigh it out. And now just imagine a ring of white light surrounding you now. And it's not so much that we're casting a circle in the usual way, but we're marking this space, that everything that's outside of that circle is in the mundane world, and everything inside of that circle is where our magic is taking place. And maybe you even see that circle as more of an egg or a sphere that is encircling you, that is creating space above you and below you, that is also part of this sacred space as well. So see that white light surrounding you now and encapsulating you here in your magical space. Blessed be. Blessed be. Okay, so we are going to now call in the elements, and we're going to call them into our own space. And so it's a lot different than maybe perhaps calling the quarters. We're going to do them in a different order, and we're going to be using mudras and mantras. For those who don't know what a mudra is a gesture usually made with the hands that can create an energetic change within us. And so I'm going to be teaching you mudras for all 5 of the elements, including spirit. And then we're going to be combining those with mantras, in particular, bij mantras or seed sounds, which are syllables that not only carry meaning, but because they are in Sanskrit, which is an energetic and a vibrational language, they also have the ability to change the energetic composition in your own body. So when we use one of these seed sounds, for example, for the root chakra or the element of earth, you are literally calling that energy into your energetic system and into your body. Okay, so we are going to start at the root and we will move up through the chakras till we get to the throat chakra, which is associated with the element of spirit. Now, down at the root, which is at the tip of the tailbone, the base of the spine, this is where we find our stability, our groundedness. So we are going to make the mudra of the earth element by taking the ring finger and connecting it to the thumb. Okay, so you can do this on both hands. You can either have it kind of held at your side like this, or you can place it in your lap. And then we're going to intone the seed sound lum. It's spelled Lam, but we pronounce it lum. Okay, now close your eyes here. Bring your attention to the very tip of your tailbone, the base of your spine. Maybe you see that vibrating, the color red associated with the root chakra. Here we're connecting to the earth element and to our own ability to ground and find stability. So focusing here, turning your internal gaze or your attention towards your root chakra, see it vibrating red, and then intone the sound lum. Now moving up to the sacral chakra. This is just a few inches below your navel, kind of near your hips. You're going to come into the mudra of the water element by bringing your pinky to your thumb. Bring your pinky and your thumb together. And again, you can have your hands at your side or down in your lap. Bringing your attention to your sacral chakra, seeing the energy there pulsating and vibrating a deep orange color. This center is connected to the water element, to our ability to go with the flow, our creativity, our sensuality, and our sexuality, and also our connection to the divine feminine. So bring your internal gaze to your sacral chakra. Go ahead and intone the seed sound that is associated with the sacral chakra, which is VUM. So spelled V-A-M, but we're gonna pronounce it VUM. Okay, so now bringing our attention to our solar plexus. Your solar plexus is just a few inches above your navel, here in the center of your body. Now the mudra we're going to use here, you're going to interlace your fingers, press the palms together, your thumbs will be sticking up, and you're just going to bring that to the center of your body here, right at your solar plexus. Now the solar plexus is associated with the element of fire. This is your own internal fire. It is associated with your digestion in the physical world. And in the more energetic world, this is associated with your will and your drive and your energy, and also your ability to transform your self-doubt into self-belief. Now it vibrates the color yellow. So see your solar plexus vibrating that beautiful yellow color like your own internal sun. And we will intone the seed sound of the solar plexus, which is rum. It is spelled R-A-M. We'll pronounce it rum. And then finally, we're not finally, but near the end, we're moving up to the heart chakra now. The heart chakra is connected to the color green and is associated with the element of air. So making the air mudra now, you're going to take your thumb and connect it to your pointer finger, your index finger, like you're making an okay sign. You can have this at your side or down in your lap. Now bringing your inner attention to your heart chakra. It vibrates with the color green. It's associated with love, not only your ability to love others, but also to love yourself. The seed sound here is yum, spelled Y-A-M, pronounced yum. Yum. And they're calling in the element of air. And then finally moving up to the throat chakra, this is going to vibrate with the color blue. It's associated with the element of akasha in Sanskrit, which translates to ether or to space, but from a modern witch's perspective, we would call this spirit. It's the element that gives birth to all of the four elements below it. So bring your attention to your throat. You have and moving your hands into the mudra of the spirit element, we're going to connect the middle finger to the thumb. The seed sound here is hum. It is spelled H-A-M, but pronounced hum. Okay, so bringing your attention to your throat chakra, calling in the element of spirit. Blessed be. So that's a nice little practice that you can use at any time. You can use it like this before a ritual when you want to call in the elements, but you can also use it just to kind of balance those lower chakras as well. And a lot of times when we balance those lower chakras, it helps us also open up the third eye and the crown chakra, which is what helps us connect out to the universe and to the divine around us. Okay, so we are also going to be calling in a deity tonight. And it kind of depends on how you view this. If you work with deities, if you work with gods and goddesses, we're calling in the goddess Lakshmi. But sometimes people don't work with deities. They prefer to think of this as energy. So Lakshmi is a goddess who's associated with abundance and blessings and fertility. So you can also think about calling in those energies as well, the energy of blessings, of fertility, of abundance, the energy that you want to bring with you into the new year. Now, we are going to use a mantra as well to call Lakshmi in. I find that when working with the Hindu deities, it's especially, to me, I find it especially effective to use the old Sanskrit mantras to call them in. So this mantra is Om Shrim Maha Lakshmiye Swaha. Om Shrim Maha Lakshmiye Swaha. So you don't need to say it with me. You can just listen to me as I chant it. I'll chant it 3 times. I'll be calling in this goddess and this energy in for all of us. Just so you know what the mantra means, the first word Om is a salutation. It's like saying hello. It's why it starts most mantras. It's like welcome, right? The next word, Shreem, Shreem spelled S-H-R-E-E-M or S-H-R-I-M. Both are correct spellings in Sanskrit. Shreem is the Bij mantra or the seed sound of Lakshmi. So when you chant it, just like when we were chanting the seed sounds of the chakras, the seed sound of Shreem helps us call in Lakshmi. So it's an effective way to just call her to us, call that goddess's energy near us. But also, if you look at it from the perspective of energy, it's calling in the energy of abundance and fertility and blessings. And then the word Maha means mother. So when we use the word Maha in the chant, we are calling in Lakshmi in her mother form. Lakshmiye, of course, her name is Lakshmi. The word ye means dear friend. So it's like an intimate a way to address her. And then the word Swaha means I honor you or I salute you. And so basically putting it all together, it would be like saying, welcome, Lakshmi, the goddess of abundance, the great mother, I salute you, or I honor you, or I welcome you. Okay, so we are going to chant this mantra 3 times now. Okay, and I'm going to place my hands in Garuda Mudra. It is a mudra of the heart chakra. Lakshmi is associated with the heart. She's also associated with the sacral chakra. So she connects our heart to our emotions, essentially. And so you can place you're going to take your palm of your right hand, place it on the back of the left hand. You're going to interlace the thumbs and then bring your hands to your heart like this. Okay, you can close your eyes, and again, you can chant with me or you can just listen. Om Shrim Maha Lakshmi Swaha. Om Shrim Maha Lakshmi Swaha. Om Shrim Maha Lakshmi Swaha. Blessed Lakshmi, welcome, and we invite you to join us here on this New Year's Eve or whatever night it is that people are, or day that people are practicing on. Infuse us with your blessings and your abundance as we step from one cycle into the next one. Blessed be. Okay, we're going to go ahead now. We're going to do a little bit of purifying breath work, and this helps just create some space in the body, some energetic blockages you might be carrying with you. This is going to help you let go of them. Just like people like to clean physically, some people like to sweep the house at New Year's Eve, or they have different practices like that to kind of clear the physical space around them. This is a similar idea. It helps to clear the energetic space within. And when we do that, sometimes we let go of blockages we didn't even know were there. So these are 2 very simple breaths. The first one is called the breath of glow. If you have ever done the breath of fire, it is a very similar breath, but it is done at about half the pace and maybe even slower. So you're going to place one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. And if you can breathe, it's a short staccato exhale through the nose. Now, if you can't breathe through the nose right now because your nose is stuffed up or something like that, you can always breathe through your mouth. So I'll demonstrate the breath, and then we're going to do about a minute of it together. So it's going to look like this, with the nose, with the mouth closed. So hopefully you can see my my hand underneath or on top of my belly that is pumping like that. So my pace is like this. And there may be a tendency to speed up. You're just going to try to stay slow like this. Now, if you can't breathe through the nose, you'll do it through the mouth like this. Okay, so we are going to do a minute of it. Once you kind of get the breath, I recommend that you close your eyes, just go into your internal space. Here we go. Now remember to take this breath slow, and as I continue to talk, you continue to do the breath. Now this breath is very good because, as you can see, it is pumping your stomach and tapping into that energy center. It actually taps into your solar plexus. Your solar plexus is connected to your self-belief. And so many of us have self-doubts about our practice. This breath helps us kind of get over that, let go of our self-doubt so that we don't question whether it's going to work or whether it's real or whether we're doing it right. And you just can fully step into the practice unfettered by all of those concerns. We're here for about 15 more seconds, so just keep the breath going. Keep it at that very nice, slow pace. Okay, and now go ahead and take a really deep inhale here. And if you know how to engage Mula Bandha, you can do that now. Otherwise, if not, that's okay. But everybody just imagine bringing all of that energy, just imagine bringing it up into your solar plexus, right here in the center of your body, holding it there as you hold your breath. Hold all that energy in. And then when you need to release, you're just going to go ahead and let go. And you can bring your hands down to your thighs, either face down for grounding or face up for receiving, whichever of the energies you need most right now. Okay, and then we are going to move into the panting breath. Now, panting breath is also very similar to breath of fire. We will do it faster. It's a faster breath than the one we just did, the breath of glow. The panting breath is extremely purifying and cleansing. I recommend, especially, we're only going to do it for about a minute tonight, but you can work up to 3 minutes, maybe even 5 minutes. If you do that, you'll get a real workout, and it's very cleansing and purifying. And I recommend, if you're going to do that much kind of breath, to have a glass of water nearby that you can sip, because it will dry out your mouth as you do it. Okay, so very, very easy. And you are just going to stick out your tongue and you're going to pant like a dog. And you're going to notice that it pumps your belly in that same way. So extremely purifying. This is also a breath that can help expand your lung capacity. All right, here we go. So it's going to look like this, and you just have to kind of get over the way it looks. Just release your ideas about what you look like and just engage with the breath, and you will not regret it. It's a very amazing breath. All right, here we go. Now you can place your hand on your belly. You keep breathing as I talk through it. I would close my eyes here as well. Now, if you feel you need to slow down the breath because it's too fast, you can absolutely do that. Go at the pace you need to. But it is usually a pace that's a little faster, sometimes even twice as fast as the breath of glow. So keep up the breathing while I'm talking. You are also engaging your solar plexus. You can feel that pumping of the belly again, right? So really, the element here of fire that's connected to the solar plexus helps us burn away our doubts. It helps us transform our self-doubt into self-belief, which is something that we can really benefit from at the start of a ritual before we move into kind of the center of it. Oh, I closed my mouth. We're supposed to be doing the panting breath. We're here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Suspend the breath. If you know how to engage Mula Bandha, your root lock, you can do that. Otherwise, everybody just suck all that energy up and in, bring it up into your solar plexus, into the center of your body here. Hold it here as long as you can. And then when you need to let go, you just sigh it out. Release your diaphragm, release the breath, and hands can come either face down for grounding or face up for receiving. And then just sit in kind of the afterglow of the breath as well. So both of those breaths are very good for cleansing and purifying, but especially the second one, the panting breath. And like I said, you can work up to 3 to 5 minutes. You can bring that in as part of a daily spiritual practice. And you will notice too that it's very cleansing and purifying for the mind. So if you're somebody who's got that monkey mind that's constantly going and that chatter that is distracting you, this breath can actually help you clear out some of that because it cleanses and purifies the mind. Okay, so we are now going to move into our water releasing ceremony. But before we begin, before we actually get to that, we are going to sing a song together that is called "The River Is Flowing." Now, this is a Native American traditional folk song. There are many different versions of the lyrics. You'll find, if you're live, you'll find the lyrics in the chat. And if you are watching back on YouTube later, you're going to find the lyrics in the body of the description underneath the video. So there are multiple versions of this song, and this is the particular version that I was taught by one of my teachers, Usha Anandi. But some of you may know this. If you're in our Shadow Seekers membership, you may know it from a few rituals we've done. If you come to some of our Sabbats, I think we may have done it at one of our Sabbats in the past. Or you may actually know this song just through other ways. But a very good song to kind of help us connect to the water element, really get into the space that we need to be in. And then we're going to go into a short meditation to connect also to the water element and see what we uncover there, what we can release, what we can let go of, and what we would like to draw in. Okay, so the song lyrics are there, and you can feel free to sing along with me, or you can just listen too. That's fine as well. Okay, you can place one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly if you would like to. And we're going to sing this 3 times. The river is flowing, flowing and growing. The river is flowing down to the sea. Oh, mother, carry me, your child I'll always be. Oh, mother, carry me down to the sea. The moon, she is changing, waxing and waning. The moon, she is changing high above me. Sister moon, challenge me, your child I'll always be. Sister moon, wait for me until I'm free. The river is flowing, flowing and growing. The river is flowing down to the sea. Oh, mother, carry me, your child I'll always be. Oh, mother, carry me down to the sea. The moon, she is changing, waxing and waning. The moon, she is changing high above me. Sister moon, challenge me, your child I'll always be. Sister moon, can't wait for me until I'm free. The river is flowing, flowing and growing. The river is flowing down to the sea. Oh, mother, carry me, your child I'll always be. Oh, mother, carry me down to the sea. The moon, she is changing, waxing and waning. The moon, she is changing high above me. Sister moon, challenge me, your child I'll always be. Sister moon, wait for me until I'm free. Blessed be. So go ahead and close your eyes now, settle in. We're just going to do a very short meditation, only about 5 or so minutes. It will help you connect to the element of water and prepare you for the water releasing ceremony we're going to do. And as we begin this meditation, I encourage you to think about what you would like to release for the new year. Perhaps you already know that there's a quality that you'd like to let go of, or something you'd like to let go of and leave behind in 2024. Maybe think about what stood in your way in 2024 and what would you like to not bring with you into 2025. So we're going to start by counting down into alpha. So on the movie screen of your mind, see, sense, feel, or imagine the number 13. Counting down to 12. Counting down to 11. And with every number we count down, you're going deeper down into the meditative state. Counting down to 10, to 9, to 8. Feeling more open and receptive to what is coming through. From 7 to 6, to 5, more relaxed, to 4, 3, deeper down, 2, and then finally to 1. And imagine yourself standing near a body of water. And it can be a body of water that you know or one that you only see in your imagination. Perhaps you're standing on the shore of the ocean at the water's edge or of a lake. Perhaps you're standing near a stream or a river. Wherever you are, in your mind's eye, look down at your feet. Notice what you're wearing on your feet. And if you're wearing socks and shoes, go ahead and take those off now in your mind's eye. And just dip a toe into the water. See how it feels. And is the water warm or is it cold? And if it's cold, and especially if you live in a place where it's very cold right now, see if you can make the water warmer in your meditation, in your meditative state. And make the water warm enough that you can easily walk further into it. And now dipping more than just the toe in, dipping the whole foot and placing it down, and then the second foot, and begin to wade further into the water. One foot in front of you, walking further into the water. Wade in as far as you feel comfortable. And maybe that means the water is at your ankles or your shins or your knees. But if it feels okay, wade a little further in. Maybe the water comes to your waist. How does the water feel surrounding you? And really check in with your senses here too, not just the sense of sight, but what do you hear? Maybe you hear the lapping of the water around you, the roar of the ocean or of the river. Maybe there's sounds of animals nearby, birds, insects. What do you smell? Maybe the salty scent of the ocean. Maybe you're at a river or a lake where there are trees and you can smell the foliage around you. Just really allow yourself to open up all your senses here. And if you're comfortable, if it feels comfortable floating, see if you can just lean back and just float in the water. And thinking back to the song lyrics that we just sang together, the river is flowing. Oh, mother, carry me. Think about those lyrics and just let the water carry you here, floating on the water. Connected to the ocean mother. Floating peaceful, feeling protected and light. And see what comes up for you as I ask you a few questions. What would you like to release right now? Is there a quality about you, perhaps procrastination, self-doubt, fears and worries, jealousy, judgment? Don't really think too hard about it. Just let the first thing come to mind. What would you really like to release right now? Perhaps it's a quality of your own, or perhaps it's a quality that you've been carrying for other people. It may be something ancestral that's been passed from one generation to the next generation, to the next one, and finally to you. What is it that you would like to release right now? And as you contemplate this, continue to float in the water. Let it caress you and move around your body. Feel deeply connected to the water element here as you continue to think about what you would like to release. And now we'll begin to count back up, coming back into the present space so we can continue the water releasing ceremony together. On the movie screen of your mind, see, sense, feel, or imagine the number 1, counting up to 2, to 3, and with every number we go up, you feel more awake and aware. Counting up to 4, to 5, to 6, maybe some movement in your body, wiggle your fingers or your toes. From 6 to 7, to 8, 9, maybe rub the hands together, maybe some little half moon circles with the neck. From 9 to 10, to 11, 12, 13. And when you're ready, open your eyes and welcome back. So I hope that that short meditation not only helped you connect to the water element, but also gave you insight into something that you would like to release. Maybe it's something you already knew about. Maybe it's something new that you weren't aware of. But whatever it is, you are going to go ahead and write this down on the piece of paper now. And so you can write down more than one thing, but why I tell people to just get a small piece is we're not writing a lot here, just 1 or 2 things that you're leaving behind in 2024. Okay, so when you are done with that, you can fold it up, and I recommend folding it so that the writing is actually on the outside, and you'll see why in just a moment. Fold that up, you're going to place that in your hand. And what we are going to do is we are going to raise a little bit of energy through something called Sufi grind. It's a Kundalini exercise. Some people call it stir the pot. I like to call it stir the cauldron for witches. And we are going to do it in a counterclockwise or Widdershins direction, which is going to help us raise some energy of release. So hold this in your hand, and you're going to begin to make circles here as you're seated with your hips going in the counterclockwise direction. Okay? And as you do so, you can, in your mind, you can think, I release blank, and whatever you wrote on this piece of paper, you can kind of recite that in your mind. I let go of this, I release this. And we're just going to begin to raise this energy of release, surrounding this intention that we're letting go of. This practice also is activating the sacral chakra, which is the one connected to water. So very fitting for us during our water releasing ceremony. You can imagine too, like you're stirring a cauldron, letting go, banishing this energy we do not wish to take with us into 2025. Raising the energy of release. So just do this for a little bit longer. And then eventually you'll come to stop. And here's where you're going to take your bowl of water now. So we're going to take this bowl of water and you're going to place the piece of paper in it. So I said earlier, remember I said this is a kind of a water releasing ceremony is a lot more gentler than using fire for release. So you're going to place this in the water and you're going to trust that you have already done the work. You've raised the energy of release. You contemplated this. You've taken an action here. And now we're going to set this aside. So what is going to happen afterwards, there's a couple of options that you have moving forward. And I will tell you about that in just a moment. But for now, you're just going to sit that down next to you. And now what I want you to do is to think about what would you fill that space with? If you let go of that thing, if that was no longer something you carried, what do you have the space to draw in now for 2025? Okay, so we are now going to Sufi grind in the clockwise direction. And as you stir the cauldron in the clockwise direction, Diasil, you're going to imagine that thing that you are drawing in. And you can repeat that in your mind like an affirmation. I draw in blank. Or you can even visualize yourself. What would you look like in a world that has released the thing you're releasing, in the world that has drawn in what you are drawing in? What do you look like? So maybe see that in your mind's eye. And we are raising energy here, drawing in good things that we will manifest in 2025. And as you do so too, imagine a vortex of energy opening up around you. And that quality that you are drawing in, see that being drawn into this vortex of energy. Raising the energy here. Maybe start to go a little faster as the energy speeds up. We're drawing in something so good for 2025, something that is going to allow you to step into your big self, step into the life that you dream of. You absolutely have the capacity to draw this thing in as you let go of what no longer serves you. Okay, and then finally coming to center, take a deep inhale here. Suck all the energy up and in, and see yourself pulling it up from your root, up into your sacral chakra, up into your solar plexus, into your heart. Draw it up into your throat, and then see it move up into your third eye, and hold it here as long as you can hold your breath. And then exhale and let it go. And may all that we wish for in 2025 come true. Blessed be, and may it be so. So here now is what sometimes what people will do is they'll start to ruminate over what we just did. If they did it right, if it's going to work, and so what I really encourage you to do is to just let go of all of that. Just let go of worrying about it, thinking about it, and it's done. The spell is done. You did it, and it worked. And you will imagine that, and every time you see yourself worrying about whether you did it right or it will work, or just put that out of your mind. It's done. It is done. Now, what I'm going to tell you, though, is what you're going to do moving forward. What will happen with this piece of paper is, depending on the type of ink or pencil you used, it may eventually just dissolve into the water and the paper will be blank. Others of you, if you used a more permanent ink, sometimes it won't actually fade, even if you leave it in the water for a long time. Now, please don't worry. That doesn't mean that the spell didn't work. You did the spell. It's already done. But moving forward, what would you do next? What I like to do is I honestly like to leave this bowl on an altar, or you can put it on the top of a bookcase or someplace safe, and just let it sit until all of the water has evaporated. By then, hopefully, the words have dissolved and disappeared. If not, it's okay too. What you can then do is you can take the paper and you can bury it, or you can just dispose of it of any way. There isn't any specific way you have to dispose of it. If you really would like to only let this sit overnight or for a little bit of time, you can always take the paper out. Again, you can bury it, and you can pour this water out to water a plant. But it's usually my preference and my own practice is I just will let this sit until all the water has evaporated. That usually takes about a week. And by then, most, if not all, of the ink will have disappeared. But again, I'm going to stress, because I know people are going to freak out. It doesn't mean the spell didn't work if the ink doesn't disappear. Okay, know that it's done and put it to the side. Okay, so I hope that you enjoyed that practice. So what we are going to do now is we are going to finish up by closing down the ritual the way that we began. So we're going to start by releasing Lakshmi. Okay. And so we're going to release Lakshmi with the same chant, but I actually set this to music a few years ago. So I'm just going to sing that song once. In number one, it's a way that we honor her. And number two, it's a way that we release her and we thank her for her aid in our work. Okay, so you can bring your hands to Garuda Mudra again. So palm of right hand on the back of the left hand. You can interlace the fingers, or interlace the thumbs, and then spread the fingers out wide. And you can close your eyes, and you can hum along with me. You may not know the word. You probably don't know the words of the chant that we just learned earlier in the ritual. But you can at least hum along with me, or just let the sound wash over you. Om Shri Maha. Om Shri Maha. Lakshmi Swaha. Lakshmi Swaha. Om Shri Maha. Lakshmi Swaha. Om Shri Maha. Blessed Lakshmi, thank you for joining us on this night for this water releasing ceremony. Thank you for helping us to connect to our chakras, in particular our sacral chakra and the water element, as we let go of something to leave behind and bring something new in. Go if you must, but please stay if you will. Blessed be. Blessed be. Okay, and we are actually not going to release the elements, because what we did earlier is we called the elements into our bodies to balance them, and it's not really something that we need to let go of. We don't necessarily want to release that. We want to leave our elements balanced, so we will not do anything with releasing the elements. And you can also now close your eyes for a moment and imagine that ring of white light that we had surrounding and protecting us. Imagine that dissipating, and that magical line that was drawn between the mundane and the magical space dissolves. We find ourselves back in the mundane world once again. The circle is open but remains unbroken. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Blessed be. So I hope that you enjoyed this ritual, and like I said, there's many parts to it, from the mudras and the mantras, and the chakra balancing, to the water releasing ceremony and the meditation. And so feel free, you can do this ritual as many times as you want. You can do it at different times. It's also a really nice ritual to do at a dark moon into a new moon. So if you like it a lot, you can do it any dark moon to new moon you want, or like I said in the beginning, anytime that you want to release something and draw something new in. So let me know how you liked it. Share in the comments. I love hearing about people's experiences during the rituals. Share with me what parts you liked, what were your favorite parts. And of course, if you have any questions about anything, you can also leave those in the comments. I go back afterwards and I read everything, and I'll respond and answer any questions that you have. And again, remember, with the water, the bowl of water, I recommend just letting it sit out for until it's all gone, until it's dissolved. And then you can just dispose of the paper, whether it still has writing on it or not. All right. Happy New Year. I hope that you are blessed with so much bounty in 2025. And thank you so much for sharing this very special hour with me. Until next time, blessed be.